I'm good. I'm just to let you know I'm starting to record just so that I have it for the portion of my end of it to have the coaching
Okay.
conversations.
Okay.
And it should be recording right now, just to begin with.
All right. Sounds good.
Okay. So how has everything been going? I mean, I know we've only
Uh,
been back a short time, but
no, it's going pretty well, I think.
okay.
Yeah, there hasn't been any problems.
Okay. That's good to hear. And then in the meantime, how is everything going with the inquiry?
So I plan on giving the test on Thursday and Friday of this week. I'm probably going to use the minimum days to do that. That way, I think it's going to work out better that way because they're really hard to fill anyhow. So doing that test might be a good compromise with that. So I have that all set up. I think it's all ready to go. All I need to do is print out some of the cards and we'll be good.
Okay. And did you need any help with that, or are you okay with it?
I was able, so I talked with Jeff about it. He said that I should have access to everything. So I went through. Looks like I can assign the test that I want to assign, so it's not a problem. The only thing I could do is check if the students can actually access it. If like I had a test subject or something like that, but I haven't had a chance to do that yet.
Okay. And that's one of the harder things, is that you kind of don't know whether it's going to work until you have students in the room.
Yeah. And I think that was another reason I picked the minimum day, because even if it goes wrong, I can push it out and then, maybe come back to it, do it on Friday, and then maybe the Monday after. So it just, it won't be like mess up too much stuff if it doesn't come together. So, but I'll get it done before. I hope to have it done by the end of this week. If not, I'll have it done by Monday of next week.
Okay, that sounds really good. Also, if you run across any problem like that, you can always just like take a picture of what you're experiencing and text it to me.
Okay.
I know Thursday I have a release day, so I can have my phone ready in case you need some at the moment support with it.
Okay.
Yeah, so I'm working on integrated math 3 on that day. So if you need any help with it, just send me a text message like, this is what's happening with it, and I probably could be on it pretty quickly for you.
All right, sounds good. I think between you and Jeff is available too.
Okay, good.
I can get things figured out if there's a problem. I don't anticipate there's going to be a problem, but you never know.
You never know what's going to happen. I mean, it could be a Wi-Fi thing. I've run into that with my experiences here. I told you my classroom's on the side of the hill.
Yeah.
So there are days where I get just no service whatsoever. And then you just kind of have to reboot and try again, and it just doesn't go the way that you intended to. But that's okay. That's a good part of teaching anyways.
Yeah.
Yeah. So do you have any other questions about that before you get started with it?
No, I don't think I have questions about that. I think at this point I'm ready to go and
Okay.
get it done. And actually I'm interested in seeing what the data would be on them. Not going to test all my classes. I'm only going to test my regular math classes. I'm going to test my IM classes because they're just kind of doing a different thing anyhow.
Right. It's really interesting when you start to see the breakdown of what kids score in which level.
Mm-hmm.
To see because it kind of validates your grading, but also at the same time it causes you to look at it and say, okay, well, if a student's working above grade level, like meeting and exceeding standards, and they're getting like a D or an F, which I've had happen before, it makes you kind of start to question things. You have a lot of questions that you can ask yourself about, what's going on with it. So it should be pretty informative for you.
Yeah.
just to see their results. I know I was a little bit surprised with mine when I did that last month. And it was interesting to see who scored where.
I hope I get good results that are interesting. I don't
I'm
want it
sure
to
you
just be
will.
like, it's going to be harder with the regular classes, just from the fact that a lot of them don't like to test and then they'll rush through it and not. If it was my IM class, I would probably like all my kids that have met the standards are usually in those classes. I don't know if I have them outside of those classes.
Right.
And we have so few anyhow that even that class, not a lot of them in that class, but it'll be interesting. If I think what I would be looking for is not necessarily, met the standard, but even nearly met and stuff like that for my regular,
Right.
that would show some kind of progress that previously probably wasn't there.
Right. And that can also give you an indication of like if somebody's really close to meeting, or like they're just on the verge of getting to that next level.
Mm-hmm.
You could do some targeted interventions with them as well by just looking at like, well, what's causing you just to like, how could we help to improve just by like 20 or 30 points? Because I noticed some of mine were in that iffy range as well. And then I started thinking about, well, what do I want to do to respond to that? So those are good things that come out of these testing situations.
And that, now that I think about it, might be an interesting thing to pursue as a fourth inquiry, right? Some kind of looking at that and then thinking, oh, well, what kind of interventions can I do for those students to see? So that would be interesting. I don't know how to evidence or like show something that it's made a difference, but that would be the hard part. Like measuring it would be kind of hard, but.
Okay. Well, before we meet the next time, I'm going to make note of that, and I'll try to come up with some ideas that we may be able to use to address that, because there could be some little small routines that you just add into your instruction for 3 to 5 minutes at the beginning of a class period that might be able to take care of some of those things as well.
Okay. Yeah, that would be pretty interesting.
Yeah, I like that idea of using that to kind of connect your two inquiries together.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that'll be a good thing for your last one.
Yes.
Yay.
Yay is right.
Yeah, that's going to be awesome. You're getting close. I was looking at the date and I'm thinking, oh man, it's March and we're done at the end of May. That's not a lot of time left.
No, it's not. Especially for one of the things for me with the 8th graders is my grades are usually due early May. So
Okay.
even less time for us because we're pretty much have stopped grading them, the second week of May, and then they have a couple more weeks to go. But
Okay.
it goes so fast from this point. It's kind of crazy.
Yes. And then do you have your testing calendar for state testing? Do you know when that's going to be?
So I always ask for the week, not the week we come back from spring break, but the week after that. Usually I battle with the ELA department, who gets what. Usually ELA wins. They always go first. They're talking about letting us go first this year, so hopefully that happens.
That'd be nice if they could do a flip-flop each year.
It would be, because the kids by that second, because we do it over 2 weeks. So ELA will go the first week, we'll go the second week. And that's just because otherwise, if we do it all in the row, the kids get burnt out. They get burnt out anyhow as it is, but you can't do like 4 days of testing and then continue on the next week or something. Like, they're just done.
Yes.
After a couple of days, they're done. So we try to give them a little bit of a break, just in hopes. But I know whoever goes second, they just don't put as much effort as they do when it's the first test.
Right.